Bethesda's glorious leader, Todd Howard, not to be confused with North Korea's glorious leader, Kim Jong-un, who do share a striking amount of similarities, if I'm being honest, just had a 1 hour long interview where he revealed a lot of very interesting details. And we are going to be going over all of them. We're going to be talking Starfield 2.0, the Creation Engine 3. Yes, the Creation Engine 3, which is going to be a very interesting conversation because, spoiler, I think it's fake. I think it doesn't exist. And most importantly, the Elder Scrolls 6, which is going to come out later than GTA 6, which is absolutely crazy, honestly. But hey, it is what it is, boys. Now, keep in mind, I do want everyone to take what Todd Howard says with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, Todd Howard is a born snake oil salesman. He is a PR guy. He will never answer a question in a way that is not beneficial to him or Bethesda or Microsoft. So keep that one in mind, obviously. In any case, let's start with the Elder Scrolls 6. Todd Howard says the Elder Scrolls 6 is going back to more classic Bethesda games. And he gives the examples of what these games he's talking about are Oblivion and Skyrim. And when we're saying Oblivion, he doesn't mean Oblivion. He means the remaster of Oblivion. And I know a bunch of people are actually kind of happy about this because getting another Skyrim is not exactly the worst of things, but there are a couple of things I would like you to actually think about a little bit before you jump on the bandwagon of, oh, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be Skyrim. And it is the fact that when Skyrim came out, this is the most biggest one, right? When Skyrim first came out, people loved it, and the reason we loved it a lot is very simple. It took so many steps forward. It was innovation. Skyrim was massive leaps of innovation in so many areas. It modernized the feel. It made things more easier, and not in the stupid way of, oh, this is too complicated of a mechanic. It just made things more streamlined and easier and better for the user to experience, which was absolutely great. It did have a couple of flaws, but all in all, it was massive innovation. But nowadays, what would happen if Skyrim got released today? It didn't exist before, and there would no Bethesda fanboys. No one would know who these people who released Skyrim in the modern day are. What would happen? Well, the reality is, Skyrim would not be as successful. It would be just like, hey, this is a pretty neat indie game type of situation, most likely. Because, again, the innovation it did, and after the absolute occult following it received from modding, and from being one of the most beloved companies of that time, was massive. Skyrim still has a massive following explicitly because modding exists. It's massive. But now, if Skyrim released now, there would be no mods, and the game would be kind of lackluster. People would not hate it, but people would not love it as much because Skyrim is just not a modern day game that you want to honestly see because it lacks so much. So the fact that he's claiming that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be Skyrim, if he's right, if it's actually possible, if Todd's not lying once again to us, is not actually a good thing. It's not actually a good thing. Because that means that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be woefully lacking. Now, granted, what he means by Skyrim, and actually he also mentions Fallout 3, is most likely no base building, none of that fucking over-bloated gunk that we got in Starfield and Fallout 4. Okay, no base building, factions, and branching storylines. This is the best way that we can interpret it, and even if we do it like that, the real question becomes, do you trust modern day Bethesda to actually make branching choices? Interesting plot lines? No, of course not. They absolutely dropped the ball with Skyrim and Fallout 76 and Fallout 4 when it came to actually making a good storyline. So the idea that they're going to make a good storyline with Elder Scrolls 6, preposterous. So, needless to say, we're kind of still on the Doom train when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, and well, anything Bethesda, if I'm being honest. And now the biggest thing, the Creation Engine 3. The claim is that this game is going to be running on an updated version of Creation Engine 3. Creation Engine 3 does not exist. It does not exist. If Creation Engine 3 was even close to being finished, because Creation Engine 2 is what Starfield is running on. And think about it in this way, right? I can't be the only one who thinks this, right? If Creation Engine 3 was even close to being finished, or in the state that you could make a game on it, why the hell did we even get Creation Engine 2 in that case? Because again, Starfield's Creation Engine 2. What was the point of Creation Engine 2 just to put Starfield on it? And then abandon it? No, of course not. That doesn't make sense. Most likely, the Creation Engine 3 talks are just because everyone said that even Starfield, which was the new, updated, best engine, was woefully lacking in... Starfield would have been impressive 10 years ago, okay? Starfield would have been impressive 10 years ago. But not today. Absolutely not today. So this is why they need to drum up some hype that, oh no, actually, the Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to be on the Starfield engine, as initially speculation was. Yeah. So that's a thing. I obviously think Creation Engine 3 is not even the real thing. And if you're gonna say, wait, Starfield was Creation Engine 3, and that just means that Bethesda's updating Creation Engine 3 for, yeah, how good is that gonna be? You know, in the 5 years that, seemingly 5 years at this point, that the Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna come out. In these 5 years, do you think Starfield-ish graphics are gonna cut it in 5 years? They didn't already cut it when Starfield came out. And you're saying that we're gonna get another Starfield in 5 years? That's disappointing, to say the least. Bethesda's Todd Howard admits the studio was caught off guard on how much players hated the original Fallout 3's ending. This is just a funny warning sign, in my opinion, that someone can be absolutely this delusional. Imagine, this is your ending for Fallout 3, in case you haven't actually played it. Every faction is gonna kill the other faction because all of them wanna, just press the button to make the engine go brr and water go through, right? Granted, Enclave has. Enclave's a bit different, but every other faction is like, they all want the same thing at the end of the day. It's stupid. And you need to go into this magical irradiated chamber, and you have a literal paladin next to you who has power armor and could do it, and it would be fine. You have a super mutant that has enough intelligence to input the fucking code and do it. But no, he tells you, this is kind of your destiny, dude. Go in there and die, you know? I'm not taking that away from you. Oh, I wonder why people didn't like the ending of Fallout 3, Todd. And the fact that this guy is still, after all these videos, there's probably 100 hours of YouTube videos, multiple hundred maybe even, discussing how bad Fallout 3's ending was and why it was bad. And Todd Howard still can't piece that shit together. People hated it. They expected, why would the game end? The other games don't end. And this is also funny because the fact that this sentence potentially means that he doesn't even understand what people hated about the ending. He's clueless. He's fucking clueless. And this guy's making Fallout 6, by the way. It's gonna be great. Don't worry about it. Then there's the massive talks about Starfield 2.0. Starfield's next big update isn't 2.0 overhaul, says Todd. I have talked about this multiple times. I don't understand where people got this because the Bethesda, I don't remember which, but I think multiple Bethesda developers literally came out and said, yeah, Starfield's not getting a Cyberpunk Redemption story with 2.0. 2.0 is like just a minor patch, honestly. The update is aimed at players who already love the game, so no one. Nice to know, Todd. With new content and changes. Yeah, I'm sure that content is not going to be paywalled by $10 for 13-minute quests. But it wasn't fundamentally but it won't fundamentally reshape the experience. Yes, we already know. The idea that Bethesda, even if they tried, could pull off a cyberpunk type of redemption with 2.0 is honestly hilarious and hilarious if I'm being completely real. The idea that Bethesda would be able to do anything good is just I completely reject it. I'm gonna be real. I don't see a way forward for Bethesda unless they get rid of Todd, they get rid of Emil, they pretty much fire everyone. Because these people are just talentless. They're hopeless. They can't do anything, and then stuff that we hear them talk about just makes the situation look even worse. Honestly. So yeah, I kind of hope that's where it ends. And the final thing that I wanted to talk about, well, actually, a little bit about Fallout 76 and whatnot. Bethesda's Todd Howard says he's anti-remake. The preferred remaster, he prefers remasters like Oblivion, which is kind of good, I guess, because that means that they're not gonna mess everything up. When we get Fallout 3 remake, it's not gonna be the worst thing ever. Even though it's gonna be probably like the Oblivion remake, where there's gonna be body type A, body type B, and massive censorship of armors. Also, Todd's lazy and he probably understands that Bethesda can't really remake a game because it's just they're too incompetent, so it would never actually work out. He explains why he prefers the approach Bethesda is taking compared to other studios. Other studios are taking the same approach as Bethesda, by the way. I don't know why he's saying this. It's the same approach. But that's Todd Howard for you. Again, a PR man through and through. Fallout 76 is still a failure. Don't expect anything. The Fallout game should be after The Elder Scrolls 6, which, again, all of this technically proves that I was wrong actually about one thing, because my speculation was for a very long time that Microsoft taking over Bethesda means that they are going to actually create the Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 side by side. There's not going to be like a 5-year gap between them. Because one Bethesda is going to do one, and some other studio with oversight from Bethesda, from Todd, is going to do the other one. aka probably Fallout 5. And seemingly this kind of disproves it, but again, I would not be surprised. Again, I still think I'm gonna be on the money on this one, boys. I still think I'm gonna be on the money that we're not gonna have to wait 5 years between Elder Scrolls 6 after it fails to see how Fallout 5 fails. Yes, I'm expecting failure, needless to say. In any case, that was that. Those were pretty much the most important things about this 1 hour conversation. There's probably some minor things that the people are interested in. Feel free to have a discussion down in the comments. Because I bet there's some stuff that you guys wanted to talk about. Maybe that I should do a separate video about even discussing if need be. In any case, thanks for watching. Bye.